My ex got revenge on me in the worst way possible, and I have no way to clear my name. Last year, I cheated on my girlfriend of 8 years, Annie, with a colleague named Jess. We now have a 3-week-old son together. I have no excuse for my actions, and it cost me my job, friendships, and Annie's love. I deserved it all and never expected sympathy. Annie found out about the cheating and dropped my belongings off at my parents' house. She didn't confront me. She simply cut me out of her life. I messaged everyone we knew, begging them to ask her to talk to me. I sent hundreds of messages expressing my regret and longing for her. I never got a response. Jess saw these messages, causing initial issues between us, but she became pregnant quickly. We moved past the tension for the sake of our new family. I am fully committed to our relationship and haven't considered anyone else since then. About a month ago, during the final stretch of Jess's pregnancy, I ran into Annie at a shop. She was cold, but mentioned finding a keychain my grandfather gave me when I was young. It holds sentimental value. She said I could collect it the following Saturday morning. I explained that Jess was due to give birth around then and I'd probably need to be home, but Annie insisted I come that Saturday or she'd throw it out. I agreed to go. My son was born a few days late, but he's healthy and wonderful. He was less than a day old when I went to get the keychain. I planned to stop by Annie's on my way to the hospital. Annie invited me in to talk about our breakup. We had what I thought was a good conversation, giving us both closure. I apologized, she wished me well, and we hugged goodbye. I admit I held on tightly, but it was out of relief, not lingering feelings. I spent less than an hour there, then headed to the hospital. I didn't tell Jess about it because she still feels insecure about Annie, and I didn't want to worry her. When I arrived at the hospital, Jess had revoked my access, and the ward manager wouldn't tell me why. Security removed me because I didn't react well to being denied seeing my son for the second time. I tried calling Jess and her mother repeatedly. The only response I received was a screen recording from Annie. It showed doorbell footage of me entering her house at 9:30 and leaving at 10:15 with the hug partially visible, making it look like we could have been kissing. Annie's message read, "Did he even shower and change his clothes between sleeping with me and holding his son? Congratulations on being stuck with him for the next 18 years. I hope it's everything you dreamed of." No one believes this is a setup. It's not something I'd expect from Annie, and no one else would either, so they reject the idea of it being a lie. I messaged Annie, assuming she'd blocked me. She replied, saying she wouldn't let me play innocent and mentioned that while I may have deleted our messages, she hadn't. Then she blocked me again. I have no way to prove my innocence. Annie waited almost a year and then exacted a cruel revenge. I've met my son only once, just after his birth, and now Jess refuses to let me see him. Court proceedings will take months, and my heart aches every minute. I know I hurt Annie terribly, but I don't deserve this. My own mother doesn't believe me. And her most supportive comment was, "Why ruin your life with a baby when Annie was willing to reconcile?" The few friends who stuck by me are assuming the worst. It's devastating that no one sees this for what it is. Everything is ruined. Story 2. I slept with my sister's husband after she passed away. My older sister passed away 7 months ago. It was an accident, so totally unexpected, and most of the time, I still can't believe she's gone. It feels unreal. Our family hasn't recovered, and I don't know when or if we ever will. My sister was 10 years older than me. I'm 22, and she would be 32 now. She and her husband have 2 kids, both under 5 years old. My family has been helping him with the kids. He's a good dad, but it's understandably tough to suddenly become a single parent to 2 very young kids while needing to maintain his job and deal with the grief of losing his wife. He moved here because my sister wanted to be near her family. She wanted to raise her kids where she grew up. He's from another state originally, but he agreed to settle down here when they got married because it was so important to her. We're all nervous he'll move away now that he has no reason to stay, and we won't get to see the kids often. I just graduated college in the spring. This past year, I've been helping out with my niece and nephew a lot. I often pick them up from daycare and help out because I have a flexible schedule compared to everyone else. I've always gotten along with my brother-in-law really well. He's always been nice to me and treated me like a little sister. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to him for advice, especially regarding guys and things like that. It's It's easier to talk to him because he gives me more honest, unbiased advice than my parents or sister. I really thought my sister was lucky to have him. He's the type of guy everyone wants to marry. Good looking, good job, great dad, personable, responsible, the complete package. My sister had been with him since they were both freshmen in college, and we all knew she would marry him the first time we met him. Even as a little kid, I knew he was the one. I slept with my brother-in-law this weekend. I was over there on Friday. I picked the kids up from daycare, which I do every Friday since I only work a half day. I made dinner over there. I had no intention of having sex with him or trying to initiate it. I haven't been aiming for this to happen. He initiated it. I didn't say no. It started with kissing. Then he started taking my top off, and I let him do it. He didn't force me, to be very clear. He's never done anything that I'd consider inappropriate with me or towards me. At the time, I enjoyed it. It made me feel good that he wanted me, but at the same time, I kept thinking, this is wrong, this is wrong. I sort of just laid there. It was very much about him getting off. I think he just needed it to feel comforted or something. Afterwards, we got dressed and didn't say anything. Then he said he was really sorry and that we shouldn't have done it. I told him it was okay. He said he'd prefer if we don't tell anyone about it. I didn't plan to. I feel so dirty about it. It was so wrong. I feel like a little kid who has done something they're going to get punished for, and I'm convinced somebody is going to find out. Story 3. I think I destroyed our relationship trying to compliment my boyfriend. My boyfriend and I are both 28 years old and have been together for 2.5 years. Last night, we were drinking, and one thing led to another. I tried to compliment him by saying he's not someone I would have a casual fling with, but someone I'd marry. I thought everything was fine, but he seemed extremely upset afterward. I realized how he understood it and tried to clarify, but he's still the same this morning. He told me he needs space to think and left the house. All my friends tell me I messed it up, and the guys say it's not a compliment and that most men would understand it differently. I think I destroyed our relationship, and I'm panicking right now. Some relevant comments. 1. I'll be 100% honest as I would with any guy friend I have. What you said and how you said it makes it look like you had your fun, got to screw the cool guys you'd want just for sex, and then after that you decided to go to him because he's the safe option. It's a great way to emasculate him and make him feel as nothing more than the safe choice. 2. You made him think you're not attracted to him, but that he's a good person, so that's why you are with him. I would feel horrible after that too. Think twice next time. 3. You basically just told him that you don't feel a raw animal attraction to him. Well, 4. Classic mistake. In your head, you probably thought you were saying he is special and worth waiting for. But you basically just told this poor dude to his face that he isn't good enough to have you without having to earn it more than anyone who has come before him. Most fellas don't react well to the love of their life, telling them they're the least attractive person they've ever been with. But one misspoken and unintentional insult shouldn't end a relationship. If this relationship was strong enough to last in the first place, then you should be able to talk it out after he cools down. Word of warning: avoid using the terms boyfriend dick or husband dick. Translates to their dick being okay for daily use, but nothing to be excited about, like a minivan. Women think that's a compliment guys want to hear as well, but it very much is not. Here is the exact wording to use to fix this. Babe, I love you. I'm sorry that the way my words came out made it sound like I thought you were less than you really are. Of course you are attractive and excite me. I just meant that the impact you have on my life is so profound that I never want anything with you to only be a short fling. That concludes today's stories. If you like stories like these, please make sure to like and subscribe for more. If you have any opinions on these stories, let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed today's story time, and I hope to hear from you all soon.